Hi, Ted here with Blue Forest Plants, and today we are looking at the Seaberry, hippophae rhamnoides is how I would say it. But I'm no expert in botanical Latin. What we're looking at here is a nice mature female bush that is just loaded with berries. They're bright orange as they ripen. The foliage itself has kind of got a silvery sheen to it. Reminds some people of a willow type leaf. And the foliage itself is very good. You can dry it, make a tea out of it. It's not super flavorful, but packed in antioxidants. It's good to mix with some other herbal teas for its nutritional beneficial properties. But what we're really after here are these guys. Oh, these little orange berries. And they're just about ready to be picked. Whoops, lost it. So, if you're not familiar with a seaberry, the content's rather juicy. Let's see if we can kind of show you in focus here. Maybe. Oh, did you see that? It's a very juicy berry. It has a citrusy like zing to it. It's been used as actually an orange juice substitute in areas where oranges aren't so available. As you can see, it's a prolific grower. There's thousands and thousands of berries on this single bush here. It's really a beautiful thing. The plant also is a nitrogen fixer. So it fixes atmospheric nitrogen into little symbiotic bacterial colonies in its roots and puts nitrogen in the soil to increase fertility. So it does well in some poor soils and actually improves it for other plants. It's pretty awesome. Like I said, this is a female plant with the berries. You need a male nearby to pollinate the female, or else you won't get berries. Doesn't have to be too nearby, but in the vicinity. I got a male right over here. You can see no berries, but similar looking plant, similar form. The tricky thing about this plant is how to harvest the berries. They do have a thorn right at the tip of a branch. You can see it right there, which can make harvesting kind of pokey, kind of a pokey affair. And the tendency for the berries to be very juicy, they can explode if they're a little bit too ripe as you pick. But what I found works really well is to use a berry picker, such as one that people use with like blueberries. And you can literally just strip these off the branches and just go to town. It saves you from poking yourself a lot, and you get a lot more berries that way. Some people will clip the branches and freeze them and then just kind of knock the berries off. I've tried that. Doesn't really work that well for me. You can pick them by hand, but it'll take a while. One thing you want to keep in mind is it fruits on last year's growth. So we can see, here's what's grown this year, and this is all last year's growth here. So if you were to clip that and do the freeze method or whatever, you would lose lose this year's growth, which would, where the fruits would appear. No, that's fine. If you're going to take that method, there's plenty here. You just want to be pruning your branches back kind of half and half every other year, so that you're ensuring that you have some growth. You can see down here there's not as much berries in this general area, and that's because I've been pruning it back to kind of keep our walkway clear. But yeah, this is the seaberry. There's another individual right over here. You can see it gets rather tall. This one's probably at 12, 15 feet. Maybe get a little bit taller, but not too much. The berries on this individual are a little bit paler. They ripen later and a little bit smaller, but they are just thick in there. Just thick. Look at them all. So pretty amazing plant, pretty giving. One note of caution, it does spread by underground root suckering. So we'll send out roots from the base, and then they will pop up new plants. Let's see if I can find an example. Yep, so here's a seaberry coming up. And there's the parent that we were just looking at over there. So, if you plant it in an open area where it has room to expand, it will into the sunny areas. I don't find it really expands in, if it's got competition on all sides. It likes full sun, doesn't do well in shade. But if you're going to plant it in the middle of a lawn, expect it to spread. But yeah, it's a great plant. Seaberries, get to know them.